What's up, guys? I hope y'all are having a great day today, just full of so much positivity and happiness, dude, because today we are once again going to be talking about everyone's favorite diabetes fetus, that of course being Sweet Baby Inc.
What it made us do was decide to create a new company, and the company's name, Sweet Baby Inc., is actually derived from the fact that we worked with a lot of different teams in previous times, and every time we worked with someone who we really vibed with, or we really felt like, okay, this is really, really going well, we would go like, wow, they were such sweet babies. And when we started Sweet Baby, we said we only want to work with sweet babies. Wow, they were such sweet babies.
Now, it has been a few months here on the channel since I last covered Sweet Baby Inc., and in all honesty, not really much has changed in any significant manner. I know there's like a generally more common, I guess, awareness of Sweet Baby Inc. at this point. You know, it seems like a lot of larger content creators outside of, like, I guess, the more politically aware group of content creators, and it's kind of broken into like the normie gaming channels and commentary YouTubers alike. But aside from that, there's not really anything new here to discuss. Sweet Baby Inc. is signing more and more clients by the day. It seems like they've really expanded their partnership with Xbox Game Studios, with several of their upcoming games like Fable and South of Midnight having Sweet Baby Inc. playing a massive role in creating those games. I mean, Xbox Game Studios, keep in mind, is listed as the #1 partner of Sweet Baby Inc. on their website, so I think it's pretty safe to assume that they have successfully weaseled their way and infested pretty much any game coming out of Microsoft Game Studios, which isn't really surprising considering the fact that Microsoft is easily the wokest company in gaming and probably tech in general, and they're one of the arbiters behind this entire ESG push in the first place. I mean, that's literally Bill Gates' brainchild, so it makes sense that the company he founded and still is a major shareholder of is pushing for this type of slop in the AAA video game industry. So, in all honesty, man, aside from Sweet Baby Inc. employees being a lot more outspoken on Twitter and, just, running their stupid fucking mouths, because in reality, if you're working for Sweet Baby Inc., you're probably not a very intelligent human being. So really, there's not much going on here. I did see the whole thing about the Steam group, which, again, I think it's good that there's a general, I guess, awareness of this group starting to form, and it seems like there's been a lot of pushback surrounding it, which is a good thing if you ask me, but I don't really think it's like this revolutionary thing a lot of people are hailing it to be, because I think a lot of people are really missing the greater point in this entire situation, and that's kind of what I wanted to talk about here today. So if you're looking for someone to sum up all the news surrounding Sweet Baby Inc. and, all the drama on Twitter or whatever, that's not really what I'm here to do. I really don't care about that type of shit, because I think the big picture is what really matters, because at the end of the day, there's 100 Sweet Baby Incs. Out there. There could be thousands of these woke consulting groups that solely exist to make video games shittier, and they just go by different names that we don't know about. So I don't really think it's as important to focus in on the one particular group as it is to focus in on the overall trend and what it signals for the video game industry as a whole. So let's go ahead and kick this off. I did find a little bit of new information surrounding Sweet Baby Inc. that I thought was pretty interesting, that I think you guys will appreciate. Now, I came across this the other night while doom scrolling, and I thought this was pretty interesting, man, because it kind of gives you an idea of the infrastructure behind a studio like Sweet Baby Inc. It's not just the standalone studio. In fact, it's being propped up by another form of woke investment firm type company called Baby Ghosts, which, sticking with the baby theme, this time a little bit more sinister if you ask me. I mean, I'm sure you can draw all sorts of parallels with what that name might be suggesting, but anyway, based on their website, it says, "We support emerging founders. Our mission is to advance cooperative and work-centric labor models in the Canadian interactive digital arts sector. What we do, provide grants and education to diverse teams, conduct research on worker-centric studio models in Canada, and foster an engaged community of studio members and their supporters." If you go to their About Us page, you can get a little bit more information about this. They provide grants to game studios run by founders who face marginalization and underrepresentation due to gender, race, queerness, disability, religion, housing status, economic status, immigration, or citizenship status. They foster community engagement and support among underrepresented game developers and founders through tailored mentorship, skill-building workshops, and business development programs, and conduct research, data collection, and publishing on the topic of equitable game funding in Canada. We've funded and mentored 15 Canadian indie studios since 2021. We are currently supporting 5 studios for 2023. Meet our founders. Now, this is the fucking kicker here, man, because this is where it gets absolutely fucking hilarious, if you ask me, because this is one of the most pathetic, just race to the bottom type bios for human beings I think I've seen in my entire life. So up top, we have Eileen Mary Haloka, I have no fucking idea, PhD. She is the co-executive director, and her pronouns are they and she, whatever the fuck that means, is a queer and disabled white settler living on Treaty 1 territory in Winnipeg. They are a writer, game dev, and community organizer / advocate with a background in theater, games, poetry, and health communications. They have a PhD in communication studies from Concordia University, a fake degree, and have published extensively within and outside of academia. They are a co-founder of both Weird Ghosts and Baby Ghost with Jenny Robinson Faber, as well as a member of Gamma Space Collaborative Studio. They also work as general manager of Infinite Ammo. And our other co-executive director, Jenny Robinson Faber, she, in case you were wondering the pronouns, is a queer, white settler, community arts advocate and organizer, software developer, and leader in the IDM industry for over 15 years. She co-founded the video game arts nonprofit DMG Toronto with Cecily Carver and Alex Leach, and Gamma Space Collaborative Studio with Henry Faber and Dan Tolliver in 2011. In 2015, she joined the board of the Toronto Media Arts Center and became its operative director in 2017. She has served on a number of arts and industry-related boards with Ontario Creates, Museum of Contemporary Art Toronto, and the Academy of Canadian Cinema and Television, among others. She co-chaired the 2016 edition of Indiecade, presented at the Museum of the Moving Image in New York City. I mean, with 2 amazing resumes like that, how could you be anything other than an overwhelming success? But if we go back to this company that it was mentioned earlier, Weird Ghosts, which Weird Ghosts is the parent company of Baby Ghost. Baby Ghost is like the investment arm of Weird Ghost that invests in the gaming industry, but Weird Ghost is the overall company. Now, it's led by the exact same people, and basically what's interesting is if you go to the website for this, it goes, our minority investor is Infinite Ammo Inc., which again is operated by one of the founders of this company. Now, if you go to the bottom, this is where it gets absolutely fucking hilarious, bro. They have a land acknowledgement section on their website, and it says, although we refer to ourselves as a Canada-wide fund, we acknowledge that what we now call Canada is built on unceded Indigenous territory. Weird Ghost operates out of Winnipeg on Treaty 1 territory and Toronto on Treaty 13 on the unceded territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinabeg, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples. Yeah, don't those names just roll off the tongue? We know that acknowledging the land is only one part of addressing settler colonialism in Canada. Weird Ghost is owned by 2 white settlers who aim to practice uncolonization by prioritizing the support of Indigenous creators, centering social impact within the games industry, and creating less extractive funding models. We hope to take further measures to deconstruct colonialism in both our fund and the games industry as we continue to grow. So again, this is the parent company of the funding firm that directly funds runs Sweet Baby Inc. And if you don't believe me, on the archived version of this Baby Ghost website, this version of the website is no longer up, by the way. They removed all the studios they work with. I wonder why, but you can clearly see that Sweet Baby Inc. is listed as one of the studios that they gave money to and guidance. But in case it wasn't abundantly clear before, this demonstrates an obvious anti-white agenda. They hate white people. They're filled with, white guilt as colonial settlers themselves. I mean, this is just an absolute fucking joke. So for anybody out there actively trying to defend the mission of these type of companies, I really have to wonder how fucking stupid you are at this point, because this is obvious proof of a clear and blatant hatred towards white people that they are directly trying to uncolonize Canada and other Western video game markets by extension. So I don't really know how much more clear it can get, but I figured you guys would find this interesting. I thought this was actually new information worth reporting on. Some dipshit who works at Sweet Baby Inc. tweeting out that he doesn't want to see white people kiss. I really don't care about it at the end of the day, bro. There's 100 million dipshits on this planet that are constantly spewing hatred and vitriol and just retardation on a regular basis. That type of stuff doesn't really faze me anymore. I don't really care at the end of the day. I think this is much more interesting because it shows a pattern, and it shows that there's more going on here behind the scenes, and it really hammers home the main point of this video that I want to get across, because I've seen the discourse surrounding this topic going in a very different direction than I think it really should. Because the thing is, I don't really want to hyper fixate on this one specific company, because the problem is this is the evil we know in this situation. We know about Baby Ghosts. We know about Sweet Baby Inc. We know about the people that Sweet Baby Inc. is working with. We know about the specific games that Sweet Baby Inc. is working with. It's almost one of these situations where I don't want Sweet Baby Inc. to go anywhere, because it's a known entity. We know what we're dealing with. We know the people who work there. We know the types of games they're working on, present and upcoming. We have an idea of how to avoid these people. And my kind of fear in all of this kind of witch hunting I've seen going on social media right now is we're gonna make Sweet Baby Inc. almost so toxic that no studio is going to be able to work with them whether they want to or not. And that's where I think the problem arises, because for every Sweet Baby out there, there's probably 100 other companies that exist that do this exact same capacity. Or what's stopping Sweet Baby Inc. from just rebranding under a different name and organization somewhere else and keeping an extremely low profile and continuing on business as usual, and we have no fucking idea on which games they're working on anymore, or which studios they're engaged with, or which games we need to basically avoid like the fucking plague, because they're filled with a bunch of political slop that literally is actively trying to undermine Western civilization by their own admission. So that's why I'm very hesitant to rush out here and try to get them almost removed from the industry. I'd almost rather them stay, because it's like a scarlet letter essentially. Any game that they touch is basically toxic, and you should avoid it or shun it or shame it. You just shouldn't interact with it whatsoever. And then there's another aspect of it too, is that Sweet Baby Inc. doesn't act on its own. Sweet Baby Inc. doesn't just walk up to game studios and say, let us make your games worse. They're being invited in by these studios. So I think the real enemy that everybody should be focused on is the actual people hiring them, because they're nothing without the ability to come in and make changes at the developers and publishers' request. They can't just show up at a studio like Xbox and say, we're gonna make your games woke and you're gonna fucking like it. No, Microsoft and their developers are welcoming them in. They're asking these people to come in and serve this function for them. So if there's anyone we should be mad at in this situation, it's the actual developers of the video games, not the consultants that are just being paid to do a job and enabled by the actual developers to have any sort of influence and, effect on the games that we're supposed to go out there and buy. So the real enemy in my mind is the studios that are actively fostering a relationship with companies like Sweet Baby Inc. And again, we know about Sweet Baby Inc. We don't know about about how many other fucking companies out there do this exact same thing that are just under the radar at this point, because either they're seeing how much shit Sweet Baby Inc. are getting publicly, or they were smart enough to just keep a low profile to begin with, and the dipshits over at Sweet Baby Inc. just couldn't keep their big fat mouths shut for 10 minutes. So that's the other reality too that we have to think about. So when you look at a company like Microsoft that is actively engaging them on multiple different upcoming projects, Warner Brothers that brought them into work on a game like Suicide Squad, you know, Insomniac Games that had them turn Spider-Man 2 into a political piece of junk, you know, companies like Sony Santa Monica, which you can obviously see the influence they had on God of War Ragnarok, which to a degree was minimum, but it's still obvious and you can still point to exactly what effect they had on the game itself. But I think that's more important. Those are the companies that you should basically be giving the heat to, because it's not going to stop at Sweet Baby Inc. You're basically going to turn Sweet Baby Inc. into the sacrificial lamb, which opens the door for 100 other companies to spring up and serve this exact same function, but operate clandestinely to the point where we don't even know what the fuck's going on. Or worse, these game studios just internalize the function that Sweet Baby Inc. is already performing, and they no longer feel the need that they have to pay for consulting groups, because they might just hire the ex-Sweet Baby employees to come and work on the games themselves and, you know, do all of this shit internally. So I think it's almost better we're in a situation right now where we have a clear enemy to point to and identify which games we should or should not buy based off of their direct involvement with them. You know, it's like the old saying goes, keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. I think that's what we should be doing in this situation. I think we should almost be encouraging game studios to work with Sweet Baby Inc. because, you know, not only is it going to save us money in the long run, but it's going to save us a lot of time and effort wondering which games we should or shouldn't engage with. And I think to a degree, a lot of people are really missing that point. The main enemy here are the people who are wanting this type of shit in their games to begin with, to the point where they would hire a company like Sweet Baby Inc. or, you know, whatever company that weird ghost is funding this month. Because that, I think, is the important question we need to ask, is why are these companies even in this position where they can come in and make these changes to video games and, you know, basically override a lot of decisions that maybe you would assume developers would be making themselves. So I think that's what's kind of being lost in this entire thing. I think everybody's so anxious and excited to like push Sweet Baby Inc. out of the video game industry, and I don't really think that's going to have the desired effect people are going to be hoping for. It's not just going to overnight get rid of unnecessary wokeness and political agendas in the video game industry. If anything, it might actually make it even fucking worse and harder to detect at the end consumer level. So just something to keep in mind. I don't know, guys. I think it's a pretty interesting thing to see this actually blow up as much as it has. It makes me happy to see that a lot of people are pushing back against this type of shit. My original video on Sweet Baby Inc. had an overwhelmingly positive reception, so I really do appreciate that. I think it is funny, and I'm not like trying to take credit or anything or, you know, stroke my ego, but I do think it's interesting that the day I made my initial video where I mentioned Sweet Baby Inc. in the context of Spider-Man 2, they turned all of their social medias to private. And since that day, only once have they ever deprivatized their Twitter, and they did it only for a few hours. So I'm not trying to say that, you know, I put the heat on or anything, but I do think it's pretty fucking ironic, man. But, you know, keep up the good fight, everybody, but don't lose focus of what we're actually fighting against. And the real enemy at the end of the day is the developers that are enabling companies like Sweet Baby Inc., not necessarily Sweet Baby Inc. themselves or whatever form they might take in the present or future, because they are not the only company out there serving this function. They're just the one we know about right now. So anyway, guys, make sure to drop a like on this video if you did enjoy it, and, you know, let me know your thoughts on this entire thing in the comment section below. Appreciate all the support on the channel, guys. It really does mean a lot. And with that shit said, I will catch you guys next time.